Morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, let's take a look. So we just got a pretty massive drop, supposedly from what I've heard on TTS, a new mod. This is called the Beta Extended playtest. Um, Interesting. Okay, new table, four-player table. Okay, the thing that needs to be worked out here, though, is red should be over here. I don't want to look at the table backwards. So very first thing I must do. There we go. Fixed. Okay. Yeah, I had to. I had to. All right. Let's take a look. Okay. So they have changed the frog token to 0 power. I mean, I still really think that if the foot soldiers are 1 power and you can get 12 of them, and they come from your basic land, a unique land should probably let you have the 1 power frog. But oh, interesting indeed. All right, and they did put the fire bolts on the table. It's not a card you can drag, but it's at least a representation. Be like, this is what fire bolts do. Very nice. And foot soldiers. Yep. Okay. And I did want to check something. Yes, foot soldiers are considered mortals. So, yeah, dude, the mortals deck, the humans deck, looking real powerful just from the starter deck stuff. Okay, so why? Okay, so they're in state slots. Button. Okay, let's change the state. Oh, interesting. Nice. Oh, okay. See if they've changed anything in the deck. That is still the same. They've updated the wording to say, hey, "How's it going, D?" Have upgraded the wording just to give it haste. Nice. I expect out of these, it's just going to be wording updates. That's all I'm expecting out of the starter decks. Okay, they did not change the King of the Realm. Good. Okay, as long as he hasn't been changed, he's still the card I want to build around. Okay, those all look the same. Let's check soldiers. Yep. Oh, turn. Okay, I didn't notice any change right off the bat there. So it doesn't look like much has changed. Okay. I want to check the fire avatar real quick. Okay, so they didn't change the wording or anything, but having that out there does help. Okay. I'm assuming the new cards are in. Oh, look at that. So, oh, okay, there we go. Fire. We're gonna go over all the cards. Now, I know I'm doing this stream. What type of deck are you making? Control human burn control. I will most likely make a humans deck. Probably tonight on stream after we look at all these cards. I think humans are going to be predominantly the big deck right out of the gate. I will work towards a control deck. I am a blue-white Wrath of God, stasis locking, counterspelling player. Control is where I specialize at. So, yeah, I'll definitely be making a control deck. But I think the first deck that I'm really going to be, promoting, working on, showing off will be probably a human deck. Mainly due to the fact that A, not everybody loves control like I do. And B, it's more of a well-balanced, like a control deck can be very boring to watch people play and can be boring to play sometimes. Where a humans deck is going to be a much more interactive deck. So that is definitely what I'm going to be working towards. Okay. Ooh, there's more in here. Relics. Those look like sites. Okay, let's. Oh, dude, I'm so excited. This is so exciting. Let's take a look at the avatars. So, Avatar of Fire. Nothing's really changed on it. It is nice we got the Firebolts token card, so we know what Firebolts do. Avatar of Water. Nothing changed here. Wind. Nothing has changed there, and nothing has changed. Oh yeah, new avatar. Pathfinder. Cost 1 attack, 20 health. A land destruction deck or a Voidwalker deck could be good if they got enough support. I really think a Voidwalker deck is definitely a thing that's going to be very possible. But assuming they got enough support, I don't know if land destruction has got enough support. So we'll keep an eye out for land destruction cards, and if we can find some good land destruction staples, I think a land destruction deck will be possible. And yes, I am dual streaming on Twitch and YouTube, so just want to let people know that I do stream on both. So I may be answering questions that somebody doesn't see. Maybe it's from Twitch or maybe it's from YouTube. Yes, they have changed Pathfinder, definitely. So before you could only tap to draw a site, you couldn't tap to play a site. So now we can actually play the dead sites that are in our hand. Tap move from a site into a void, placing the top site from your atlas here. Now, my question is, the way this is kind of worded indicates to me that they want you to maybe jump to a void. So maybe you don't have to traverse through the lands. You could just move from a site into a void. So even if you're not adjacent to a void site, you could tap to go to a void site. Definitely want to get some clarification from the Discord on that, but that's what it's feeling to me. So if that's the way this works, that's a lot better than the +1 movement it had before. But now it doesn't put multiple sites into play. You have to tap it to get a site into play still, but you have more maneuverability on it, and then you can discard a site from your hand to move one step. Yeah, I think it's good. I kind of like the other version better, but I think it was too powerful in the way that you were getting 2 land per turn. So with this version, it does slow down this avatar a little bit, but still gives you a very still a very nice way to fill up the board in the way that you want it to be. So yeah, I think it's an improvement or at least a good side grade to what it used to be. We'll definitely have to do some playtesting and check this out. Okay. Ooh, Sorcerer. Uh, 20 health, one tap, player draw sight. You start with 4 spells in your hand, which is what it did before, and then it's got a new ability. When you arrive at death's door, teleport to any site and draw a spell. Okay, that's really good. I like this. I like the blink effect on this to just get out of harm's way. I've always liked to draw 4 instead of 3. I think that is a very good ability. The only one, okay. I'd like to see the other. The Seer is the other one that I'm waiting for. That's going to be the one that deck. If I was making humans, I'd probably go with either Pathfinder or I might still go with Sorcerer just to get the extra hand size. But Pathfinder would be a good alternative. You're probably not going to end up using any of these in my dual color decks, but we'll see. Okay, let's take a look at sites. So these are, oh yeah, the Seer is so good, right? Right? Okay, so villages, village. Okay, ooh, this one. Okay, let's take a look here. Bedrock, an exceptional site of utter movability solitude. This bedrock and your adjacent sites are immovable, inalterable, indestructible. Oh my. Yeah, no, that seems really good, especially if you get some great walls adjacent to it. Like put this in between 2 great walls, and you've got a very defensive. I mean, you're literally the Crab Clan from Legend of the Five Rings. I mean, that is a wall. Uh yeah, and you can have 3 of these in an exceptional site. Yeah, I like this card. Card is definitely going to see some play in some more defensive turtle decks. Holy Ground's still the same. Old Growth Forest. Incoming ranged and airborne attacks are canceled here. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's a wonderful. Mole said so water can't flood your sites now because they're inalterable. That is a very good thought. Ooh, wow. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I played both versions of L5. Dude, I've played probably about 60% of every card game that's ever came out. Played a lot of card games. But yeah, I Crane 100%. Crane rep. But yeah, that is a very interesting thought on the fact that wouldn't be able to change their sites from to a water site. That's actually kind of scary. That means in water, I'm gonna want some kind of a destruction spell, just in case I run into that. I wonder how they're gonna do sideboards. Sideboards are gonna be interesting. Maybe they won't do sideboards. Maybe you'll be able to do like the wish mechanic from Magic, where you can pull cards from your collection. Okay, carry on. Uh, Old Growth Forest. Incoming range and airborne attacks are canceled here. So, say you do have that wall with a bedrock in between, and maybe an old growth forest. You can kind of, yeah, I could see how you could make it a very defensive site build. I don't know if you're going to use all of that because you're going to want still plenty of rustic villages. You're going to want some passes through the wall for your ground units, but you're going to pretty much Leonidas it. You're going to make it so that way things have to funnel through a direction that you choose. And that is one of the amazing concepts to this game is not just the card aspect, but the area aspect of the game. And that's going to be the hardest part for like old school Magic players like me to kind of work within. Now, luckily, I played a couple card games that have done a lot of area stuff, like Anachronism, which is an amazing game. I really wish there was more support for that game when it was out. That was an amazing game from the History Channel, but it did a lot of this grid base. So this is going to be interesting, and I do like Old Growth Forest. I think it's a very very good card for a defensive style deck too. All right, so we got Quagmire, still the same. Yep. Secret Tunnel, still the same. Great burrow card. If you're playing a burrowing deck, running 3 of these. Your ranged card, same. Okay, Sinkhole. This one's newish. At the start of your turn, you may destroy this sinkhole and an adjacent site. So, if you're playing water, you could technically throw this in there to get rid of some of those bedrocks. Nope, it's nope. Bedrock is indestructible too. Damn, how are you gonna get rid of? Oh, you return it to their hand. That's how you do it, and then place a your own land in that spot. I think that's the only way to take care of Bedrock. Ooh, Bedrock's gonna be great, dude. Like you don't understand how good Bedrock is actually going to be. That card is going to be sick and is going to tilt people. So Sinkhole, yeah. At the start of your turn, you may destroy this Sinkhole and an adjacent site. A good land destruction card. Good way to kind of hose your opponent, especially if you have other ways to gain mana. And Threshold, this is, yep. I mean, who doesn't like Sinkhole, right? Hey, we finally got a unique Earth site. City of, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. Gartha? A unique site at the center of it all. Minions here may unburrow to any site without water as if they had burrowing. Wait. Minions here, so if I have a minion here, may unburrow to any site without water as if they had burrowed. So if they tried to so if I did like an earthquake and I had a couple minions that didn't have burrowing, this would allow me to unburrow those minions to any site. Okay. I could see this. A, this is going to be in a burrowing deck, and B, you're going to, because you're not going to have every minion have burrowing. So having something like this to be able to get your minions back, yeah, it looks like they would teleport if it to yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, that could be an interesting movement card with burrowing. Okay. Pillar of Zaros, another unique site. Only minions with burrowing can traverse the site. Okay, we've seen this before in the Kickstarter video. Yeah, it's going to be a staple for burrowing decks. Okay, that's it for Earth so far. I was really hoping for some more human sites. Okay. So the desert, that's normal. Red desert, remote desert. This is also from the starter. Turn minion summon here have haste. Oh, Dwarven Forge. This one's new. Yeah, right. Like this is. Oh man, I miss the art from like Arabian Nights and Legends and Antiquities, and the Dark. Oh man, Dark was one of my favorite art sets ever. Hell, even Fallen Empires has great art. I miss that Ron Spencer, that Quentin Hoover art feel, that Christopher Rush. I'm really excited. All right, let's take a look at the Forge. Dwarven Forge, a unique site, so unique Fire Sight. All players may conjure relics here. These relics cost 2 less mana. That's really good. Like, if you can control this site, you can pay a lot less for your relics. Sorcery. Maybe, but that's going to be way, way, way in the future. One of the reasons why Elder Dragon Highlander came around, or EDH, or Commander, is because it was mainly a way for people to use a lot of the, cards that they had that weren't competitive, and Type 2 had just started coming out, and a lot of us were good with Type 2, but we had a lot of cards from, that weren't Type 2 legal anymore. And Type 1.5 was okay. It was not bad. Anything that was restricted was banned. And we had a Highlander format, and the original EDH decks, the reason why it's called Elder Dragon Highlander is because you were using the Elder Dragons from Legends, like Nicol Bolas and Chromium, stuff like that. And it was extremely fun when it first came out. And it's still fun now. I just don't like the group aspect of it. But that's Magic the Gathering. I could literally do an entire 5-hour stream just talking about Magic the Gathering, so I will stop. Or try to. Can't guarantee that it won't slip back in. Relic heavy decks down. Chaos, yeah, mainly because you got to get, even if you summon the Relic here, you got to pick it up. Which means control of this site is going to be rather interesting. Now, if this is your first site you play, then it's so far in your back line that the opponent is probably not going to want to place relics here, even at the reduced cost, because it's going to take too much for them to get over and control it. Which means this is super powerful for you if you can get it early in the game, or get it into a far corner in your locations. Yeah, I like this. I like Dragon Forge, or Dwarven Forge. Very good card. We've seen River of Flame, super good. Oh, Smokestacks of Ranak, a unique site of realized. At the end of each player's turn, that player must sacrifice a nearby minion. Ooh, it's an Abyss. I like that. I could see you almost kind of running this towards your opponent's back line, dropping it there, and making it so that way you are artificially pushing their minions forward to get it away from the stack. Ooh, that could be really fun. Yes, I agree. The art is phenomenal. That Ivan Miller does great art, and whew, it is a pretty card. Why does Fire have so many unique cards? Okay, this is from the starter. We did go in depth on this on the video. It's a good site. Run it if you can use it. Okay, into water. Our basic waters. And then the floodplains, which I think are a staple for water decks. And the river, Leviathan Island, which is insane, one of my favorite waterlands. I really just like this card. Again, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I think if you can get 12 of these from your common lands, these should have 1 power. I know that, in playtesting it was rather strong, but you know what? It's a unique land. You can only have 1 in your deck. It should be strong. It has a threshold requirement. It has a, now I get it's the coming into play effect. If you bounce it, put it back into play. get its effect again. But there's not that many land bounce in the game. I really think they should just change this back to 1 power. But for now, 0 power frogs will at least do some towers. Mountain pass. It's changed on that. Updrift. That. Ooh, watchtower. Nearby enemy stealth is negated. I do not know how big stealth will be. So this may not be a super important card, but you know what? I will say that as a control player, stealth will be the worst mechanic to face because you won't be able to target it with your spells. So yeah, Watchtower will probably end up in the control decks. Yeah, I'm also very curious on the how many things are going to have stealth. The observatory has not changed. 3 cards, put them on top in any order. You cannot put bottom, so it's not ups. It's okay at best. Cloud City has not changed. Still very good card. Oh, ooh. Yeah, there you go. I would remove submerge or keep submerge and just give them water bound. I agree. Um, take a look here. So it's a unique site. This apex gives 3 mana instead of 1 if the base of Babel is directly behind it. I agree with this with the splash damage and stealth. Definitely could be. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about stealth with so much splash damage. We'll see. Oh, oh, look at that! Oh shit, that's awesome. Okay, so what does the base do? Base gives 2 mana instead of 1 if Apex of Babel is directly above. So if you place this one first, you'll get 1 mana. Then if you place this, you'll get 3 mana for a net total of 4 mana. Versus if you went the other way around, you get 1 mana and then you get 2 mana for a net. So build from the bottom up, guys. I mean, come on, like it's just basic architecture. You start from the ground up. I don't know if it's playable though. Let's be honest. The odds of you getting these in the right order, hell, the odds that you're even gonna draw both of them in a game out of 15 to 17 sites are going to be kind of slim. It will have to take up a row 1 and a row 2. I mean, it's cool as hell. Don't get me wrong, man. This is cool as, I mean, very cool. I just don't know how playable it is. Definitely something that I'd probably play around with, though. Yeah, like, definitely, which is all in Earth, and these are water sites, or air sites. So, yeah, I mean, maybe Earth Wind, which is what I think that's going to be the biggest combo when it comes out is going to be Earth and Wind. So okay, the sites. Thank you for putting these out. Okay, so the aqueduct is an Earth water site. So this counts as both a village and a river, and it gives you threshold for both. So water bound, village bound. I know there's no, you know what I mean. It would count for those. Um, it is elite, so you can only have 2 in the deck. You can't have more than 2. Like we got an air water. Should have 1 for each, right? Water fire, fire earth, earth fire, or sorry, Wind Earth, or Wind Fire, Earth Fire, and the most important one, Wind Earth. Huh? Paradise, good. They added the symbols because in their on their website this card doesn't have the threshold symbol, so it was rather confusing for most people. This Paradise does not give any threshold if it has a minion on. So good, put it in the far corner, and you get a bunch of threshold on. I like it. I'm definitely probably gonna run multicolor decks. Cornerstone, maybe play. So nothing changed here. Oh yeah, Paradise, and I like that they even kind of have Birds of Paradise on it. I mean, yeah, they kind of knew what they were doing. Free City, an exceptional site. This city can defend itself with the power of 4 until defeated once. Really good. I wish this had a threshold on it. I think in low threshold decks, this is going to be extremely good. Um, Especially in the front. I like this, and it's exceptional. So you can run 3 of them. Another Miller art is the art is amazing. As that's a good card. That's a solid card. Okay, Mirage, exceptional sight, a brief illusion of salvation. When it comes into play, you gain 1 of each threshold. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100%. The art in this game is one of its biggest selling points. This so the turn it comes into play, it will give you the extra threshold. Um, this is a card that I'm gonna have to play around with. I don't know how good it is. We'll have to see on that. It is exceptional, so you can have 3 of them in the deck. Stonehenge, nothing has changed that. Crossroads, an elite site to point you in the right direction. Genesis, look at the top 4 Atlas cards and put them back on top in any order. Huh, you know what? I like that. I don't mind that at all. Yeah, yeah. Mirage will only work once. That is correct. You know what? I don't mind Crossroads. I think that's a pretty good. What I'm thinking with Mirage is in those decks where you use a lot of things that don't produce threshold, you would want to save it in your hand until you need to drop something that maybe needs 3 threshold. And you're like, okay, I'll drop that. I'll get to my 3 threshold, play my, Knight of Uber Badassery, and then at the end of the turn, it drops back down, but the knight's already in play. Yeah, no, yeah, Scry 4 on a site. Now it is for your Atlas cards, which is even better because we got a lot of scrying or opting for a spell book. We don't have a lot of that for the Atlas. So being able to, get a site that's maybe 4 turns away up to the top is extremely valuable. I like this site a lot. Yeah, digging that site. Okay, Donnie Book in complete site. We're letting off steam. Not Goldshire in, so uh yeah, also a great way to get the second part of the babble. You are right. All players may summon minions here. These minions cost 2 less. So it's a forge, but for minions. This is much more dangerous than the forge. Um because if you summon this in your back line, it gives your opponent a way to kind of move in through that back line. This is a dangerous card. But summoning it in the front line, it definitely gives you a way to create an entry point into your opponent's defenses. Um, it's a good card, yeah, but dangerous, very dangerous card. The Emperor's Road, an elite site. coming into play. Your opponent and then you. An important distinction. Your opponent, then you may play an extra site adjacent to this road. So if there is only one slot open next to this road, you will not get to play your extra site. Only your opponent would. So be very careful with that. But I think this is a good ramp card for you. I do like it. Definitely will need some playtesting. And we'll definitely need some piloting skills properly. Northern Frontline, elite site where heroes are born. This frontline may be played on any void that has a site directly in front of it. So the real question is, what is front? Because let's be honest here. Okay, so if I place this here, me from this perspective, there is nothing in front of it. So I can't play that there. But me from this perspective, there is something in front. So is front a perspective issue? Or is front a fixed issue? So it's definitely something we need to ask and should be an interesting thing. I think the perspective is, I believe it is also, but I could definitely see people having issues or confusion with that. But beyond that, yeah, I kind of like that, especially if they put down like a cornerstone in their back line. They're like, boom, I match your cornerstone with another site. Nowhere Island, fleet site in the midst of the black seas of infinity. This island can only be played on a void, not adjacent to any site. Yeah, so this is gonna act like a cornerstone 90% of the time. Yeah, I think a deck that uses cornerstones will also probably use it. Minor Gate. That's actually a magic card. Ooh. An elite site and a passage into the unknown. Nearby minions have Voidwalk. Ooh, 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 spicy. Okay, okay. This this is a Voidwalk card. Yeah. If played right, you can really use this to jump past some opponent's defenses. This will need some playtesting, but I really like this card. Ooh, that's a dangerous site to have. I don't like that because I don't want to draw a site that I can't use. Yes, you are correct. With the island, if you draw it late game, you're not going to be able to play it. Unless you're playing Pathfinder, and then she just puts it in play, and it doesn't matter. Because she should override the stipulation site itself. Yeah, I don't know if I would play this in a Voidwalk deck, or if I would play this in a deck that doesn't have Voidwalk. This is interesting. This is going to be an interesting a site to really play around with. All right, Edge of the World, a unique and final site before the void. Players can't play sites directly in front of Edge of the World. So here's another of those perspective issues. So say that this is my second land drop. Now, it says players can't play sites directly in front of this edge. So, me, this is the front. Now, here's the other perspective. So it could be a fixed based off of how this is. So if this is facing this way, then the front would be here. If it's facing this way, the front would be here. And it wouldn't matter about the player's perspective. It matters about the perspective from the card itself. That's probably how it's going to work. Yeah, there's a lot of control sites. Very interesting control sites. And I think that's a strength that they really should work towards too, because of the fact that it's this game's going to get compared to Magic a lot. Hell, I've done it already, and we've been here for what, 30 minutes, and I've already compared multiple things to Magic. It's just, it is what it is. You make a fantasy card game in, you know, this century, it's going to get compared to Magic. Them going more in on their sites is going to be the thing that distinguishes it and differentiates it from Magic. And that is going to be a very key part to this game, and something that I think they really need to keep an eye on and work towards. Okay, Mirror Realm. Now, if you do not know, if you pick up the Kickstarter, you can choose add-ons, and there is a 2-player playmat of this particular of the Mirror Realm. Definitely a 2-player playmat that, if you like this art, definitely something maybe to check out on the Kickstarter. So they are going to make relics that allow you to stealth. That is definitely a possibility. I would actually expect that. So Mirror Realm, this realm mirrors the threshold and abilities of adjacent sites, including Genesis. It is a unique site, but man, let's talk here. So okay, so say that's what I've been playing. That's very. Here, let's go one more. So that was my first 3 turns. 4th turn, I dropped that. It's going to mirror the threshold and abilities of adjacent sites. Question: does that mean this produces 2 air and 2 earth? Or does it only produce 1 earth and 1 air? Because they're the same site. Good question to ask. I believe it would. I believe it's cumulative, so it would do all of it. Okay. Yeah, I hesitated to change. Well, I want all those sides. I can't wait for September. No joke. Um, okay. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I'm very interested. Humans deck. Okay. Put this together. Come over there. And we only went through the sites. Holy smokes, this is gonna be a long stream, guys. Might be a 2-parter stream. I gotta go to work in a couple hours. Alright. Let's relics. Oh yeah, 3 cost all terrain investments. The minion bearer of this investments has submerged, burrow, and void walk. They also lose waterbound, firebound, earthbound, windbound. Interesting. They called it windbound and earthbound. instead of village bound and tower bound. Let's take a look here real quick. Did they change? Still says tower bound. Yeah, so they might mean to fix either one of those. If they're going to use tower bound, they should probably change investment. Unless there is windbound and tower bound, I guess that's a possibility. Does seem a little weird. But, alright, interesting. I mean, probably not going to see a lot of play. Not in competitive stuff. Angel's Egg, we've already seen this one. It's decent. Okay, here's a Minion Relic, 4 for 3 power. Exceptional. This golem must attack it. If able, if it kills a minion and survives, it gains +1 power permanently. Dude, and that art, man. That art, holy smokes. Could be a decent card. Devil's Egg, we've definitely seen this. So good. Change. Okay. I mean, well, cost 7. You're gonna bounce all nearby minions, and then minions cannot be played near this relic. This is 100% a control card. It's gonna be so good. This is one of my chase cards that I'm sure. Doomsday Device, we've seen this before. Not a fan. Doomsday Drums. Aggro decks. Enjoy it. Probably going to be good in the minions deck. If a nearby minion is targeted by a spell or an ability, or takes any damage, kill it. Okay, so we have the updated Eric's item. Conjure into a corner void. So there cannot be a location on that corner piece. When an avatar picks this up, that avatar owner draws 3 spells. Could be good with wind, who can move. Could be good with water, who can just straight up move to the new water site. And you use this together with the site that allows you to summon minions cheaper. Which one are we looking at? Oh, chains. So can you use the site? What's the site that allows you to summon minions cheaper? So with the in, but it'll also lock out yours. So you're gonna play this in a deck that doesn't do a lot of minion stuff, because it's also gonna lock out your minions from nearby sites too. So control versus minion heavy. But yeah, you could definitely, like, if they play the end, you could slap that down, bounce all their stuff, and then pretty much lock that site and nearby sites. Nearby is a key word there. Right. And it is a unique relic, so you can't have more than one. Otherwise, yeah. I would be that guy who just plopped 2 of these on the board and said no minions for the rest of the game. Yeah, I agree. Eric's is going to be in every deck. I mean, you might as well. It's a 1-card slot. If your avatar goes and picks it up, it's land deed. Conjure on one of your sites. You control this site. Conjure on one of your sites. You control this. Now, the original land deed, I think had better word. Because it said you control the site this deed is at. I'm assuming it's still going to play the same way. You would conjure this on a site, you pick it up, you move it to an opponent's site, and now you control that site. I do not like that this is an exceptional card. This card should be unique. Not due to its power, not due to, well, you should only have one in the deck, but due to the fact that you should only have one. Yeah, except for it says when an avatar picks. So unless your avatar has a void walk. I mean, I guess a void minion could pick it up and then bring it to the avatar and drop it, but that's a lot of work. Yeah, the wording on this probably still needs some more clarification. Adding bells. 2 cost an elite relic. Nearby spellcasters can only cast spells. Ooh. I don't like this card at all. This is not a good card for me. But yeah, if you get this near an opponent's avatar, because all avatars are spellcasters, yeah, you could probably cause some problems there. Wow, look at that art. The bearer of this mask must attack when able. Nearby combat damage is. It's a good card. I think it costs too much to really see high level play. I think it's too expensive. Because it doesn't just double your combat damage, it doubles the crackback damage. Which, I mean, maybe if you place this on a ranged unit, no, because this is nearby combat damage. So, well, I guess range would still be nearby if it's only one. But if it was more than one space, so they put it on the big range to the attack anywhere guys from humans, not gonna be that. Okay. Here we go. And now we're gonna talk a little bit more magic. Thank God they got them all. Okay. The mixes. Let's talk the mixes. Yep. Yep. You know where this is gonna go. These are Moxes. First off, little financial information. If you pull any of these, especially out of a Kickstarter box, do not think they're not worth anything. These are going to be some of the most sought after cards in this entire set. Even though it's just, I mean, shit. Sorry, but holy crap. 0 cost, reduces the mana cost, and requires no win threshold. So, yeah, I'm going to let you guys just look at these for 1 second. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Give me about 3 minutes. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Man, I got interrupted in one of the most important parts. So, yeah, the mixes. They're so good. They're absolutely good, and they're better than what they were when we first saw them too. They actually got an increase because now wind spells cost cast by the bearer cost one less and require no win threshold. That's so good. So, if you're playing multicolored decks, you no longer have to worry about the thresholds. That is so good. Even better than Moxes. Moxes are restricted. You can only have one. Yeah, exactly. These were unique before. They're no longer unique. They're elite. So you can have two in play. So you can reduce the cost by two. Ooh. Oh yeah, that did surprise me. That does surprise me, definitely. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so excited. These are. Oh, I am going to. I'm going to buy every one of these I find on eBay. Just letting you know that in advance. I'm gonna buy them all. I'm a big fan of the style of card, and I'm very happy with these. Very happy with. Oh, these are so exciting. So very exciting. Okay. Take a look. Orb of. Ooh, not going to be able to pronounce that name. Unique relic. Anything affecting this orb site or splash damage dealt here is replicated on Sorcery. Interesting. Okay, there's two ways to look at this. You can place it on one of your sites to that way when you're doing defensive stuff. Maybe to prevent those super rare and expensive like they're still going to be super rare and expensive like Moxes. Because yeah, just yeah, they're still going to be super rare and expensive because instead of having one, everybody's going to want two. Nothing. A good card is a good card no matter how they change it, like that. So surrounding, you're right. Okay. Question: is surrounding nearby or is surrounding adjacent? We need some clarification on this, but we'll be able to get that on the Discord. But that is a very good question. Is this 8 or is this 5? Or 4 equals near my minus its own location. Perfect. Perfect. So it's 8. Or yeah, 8. I can do math, I swear. So the two ways you can look at this card. You can look at it defensively. You can place it on a site you control, and as you do things to that site, you're also increasing your other sites. You can also think of this as offensively, placing it on your opponent's sites and being able to get some extra reach out of some splash damage. Imagine this with the dragon. That's really good. Imagine, yep. Imagine this with Craterize. Yeah. Ooh. Oof. Yeah. Imagine it with a Doomsday device. That's 20 damage to all 9 sites instead of 20 damage to just the center site. Imagine that with a chains. Would this work? That is the question. Because this is not affecting the site, so it might not work that way. It would be interesting to see how this interaction works. But there are so many ways to affect sites that yeah, I'm a oops, sinkhole. Yeah. I think this is going to be a good card. This is definitely going to be a card to keep an eye on. Plus, Dan's art on this is phenomenal. I know we've said it so many times in this already, The art is just top tier, perfect. It has that 80s, 90s, you know, playing D&D in the basement, you know, or up in the attic, listening to Rush, and you know, just that whole vibe to it. You know, like I want to listen to some Rush right now. Just looking at this art, maybe some Rush and some Iron Maiden. You know, let's go. Uh, Time to talk about this card. Philosopher's Stone, cost 1. Bearer of the Stone is a spellcaster. Spells cast by this bearer of this stone cost 1 less mana and require 1 less of each elemental threshold. It is unique. My predictions. This is going to be the most expensive card in the set. Things that affect mana, like stones, Moxes, it is going to be the most expensive. Unless they drop a Black Lotus on us, you know, unless they drop a stone that costs 0 and that we can discard to create 3 mana and 3 threshold of our choice, I unless we see that, this is going to be the most expensive card in the set. Yeah, you're right. It's broken. It is so good. Not only does it make it does multiple things. Now I know it costs 1 instead of 0, but it makes the minion a spellcaster. It reduces the mana from spells. It reduces the threshold. So if we do see multiple element threshold spells, it's going to reduce it by more than 1, because it reduced 1 wind and 1 earth. So if we do end up seeing multiple gold cards in this game, that's even more. This card, in my opinion, is going to be the most expensive card in the set. I think these are also going to be extremely expensive. I do understand that. But at the same point, this is every color. It will be better than the mixes in the long run. A control player and a control oriented player will always be able to get this in play. There's enough tutors that there should be ways to get this in. Search a deck and grab it. Just my prediction, as someone who has played card games since 1993 and has played an amazing amount of them. Anytime you see cards like this and like the mixes in the first set, I mean, think Sith Holocrons, think Moxes, think Lotuses, think all of that kind of stuff. They're always the most expensive cards. Don't get me wrong, I still think King of the Realm is going to be an extremely expensive card also. But I do feel this card will become more valuable than the Mox, especially with it being unique. It means it's going to be harder to pull than the mixes. Are the mixes a more staple card? Probably. But in a 3-color deck, what would I rather have? So say I'm playing water, fire, earth. Do I want to take up 6 slots of my deck? Or do I want to take up 1? Granted, I may take up 1, 1, 1, and not double up on the mixes. so that way I can put more cards in the deck. But that's also deck crafting and deck theory. In multicolored decks, and you will definitely see multicolored decks, people want to play 4 colors, 3 colors. In 2 colors, I think the mixes are better. In 3 and 4 colors, the stone is king. But don't take my word for it. We'll find out in a year or two, right? But that's my prediction. If I see these on eBay, I'm buying them too. Just letting you know. Purge Dreadnought. An elite relic. Conjure on your back row. Kill all minions on the site. At the end of your turn, this Dreadnought moves forward 1 step. Destroy it if it can't move. Interesting. Not bad, but your opponent can see it coming and can move out of the way. Probably not super playable. Screaming Skull. I still don't think this card's playable. I know. It is a good card. In Branson art, love her art. Love it. I think at 2 cost, it is not playable. If it was 1 cost, sure. Because, okay, so the reason why is that I pay the 7 for the dragon. Well, if I want to put the skull on it, it's only useful on the turn the dragon comes into play. Because haste is only useful when you play the card. I'm 7's already a lot. Do I want to up the dragon's cost to 9 to give it haste? No, I really don't. Honestly. You can summon as a bearer, I believe. Relics are powerful. A player may conjure a relic either on a site they control or on any site occupied by their avatar or minion. When a player conjures a relic, they may have that relic come into play as born by their avatar or minion on the same site. So yeah, you can summon it straight onto the dragon. But you're right. At 1 cost, it would be great. I would use it at 1 cost in certain decks. I would not use it at 2 cost. I'm sorry, it's just not strong enough for me to waste a slot and a card draw and the mana. Siege Ballista. Tap an allied minion here. Ballista deals 3 range combat damage to an avatar or minion up to 2 steps away in a cardinal direction. Ballista cannot be picked up. It's the same one as from starter deck. I've talked about it before. Spear of Destiny. Let's see if anything changed on here. Oh, still great. Yeah, Bliss is not bad at all. Like, yeah, it's a good card, especially in Earth where you have a bunch of 1s and 2, 1 power footmen power it. It's good. Yeah, Spear of Destiny is insanely good. This is going to be useful in a lot of decks that don't have a way to kill creatures. I expect that most water decks will run 2 of these. Almost every water deck should be running 2. Because they do have ways to kill creatures, they just don't have a lot of ways. Sunken Treasure, only good if you're playing water, so it's not just a water relic. Because you pretty much can't use it if water. Trinket, same as the one that before. Undertaker Engine, 7 for 4 attack. Yeah, no, you're right. With the Ballista, there's no crackback. It's just deal damage. You are right. It is pretty good. 7 for 4 attack. Elite. End of turn, this engine must burrow or unburrow an adjacent minion or relic, including itself. Could be useful. I don't know if I like it. I'd have to play around. That's it for relics. Okay. Takeaway. Crimson loves his mana fixing. Let's start with Earth. I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit more because I do have to go to work here. Not right now. I still got a couple hours. Dryads. 1 for 1. You have 1 more mana. I like them. Wish they were mortal. But I like them. If you're not playing a humans deck and you are playing Earth, they're not a bad choice to run. Amazon Warriors. Again, these are Mystics. 5 for 6. Ordinary. They're just meh. I probably wouldn't run these. The Atlas. We've seen most of these in the starter decks. Iron Skin. When they move to Void, they carry the site with them. Okay. Unicorn's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful card. But other than that, it's 3 for 2 power, ranged 1, human. So could be a good card. Ordinary monster, 1 for 3. Oh, huh? 1 for 3. No setbacks, just straight up 1 for 3. I like this one. Yeah, this is a good one, especially if you're making a troll or a monster deck. Yeah, that's actually a pretty darn good card. 1 for 3 is huge. Yeah, yeah. You like the huh? I mean, I expect Savannah Lions 1 for 2, but 1 for 3 that kind of shocked me on an ordinary minion. Border Militia. This is a new one. Ordinary magic to defend our motherland. Okay. Summon a 1 power foot soldier token to each of your villages near an enemy site. Damn, that's a good card. That is a good card. That is going to be going into humans deck for sure. 1 for 1. Ordinary Undead. When this rabble dies on a non-water site, burrow it instead. They can unburrow as if they have burrow. Element of surprise is gone. Drudge skeletons. You know, this is maybe useful. Berry, as I've said before, I think Berry is one of the best kill style cards in the game. It is cheap. Now, granted, it doesn't technically kill the thing, so if they have like passive effects on the card, those passive effects will still be. Cave Trolls, Burrowing. We've seen that. Or Common Sense. Search your spell deck or spellbook for an ordinary card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Shuffle. Super strong card. Greater Eyes. So nothing's changed on it. Still extremely powerful. Yeah, I do. So having to tap to pick up relics. Should you? Yes. But should there be more of an archetype that allows you to not? Yes. Maybe an avatar that's where its special ability is. It does not have to tap to pick up relics. Maybe a minion spellcaster. Right. I'm just saying relics in general. Um Now which relic were you guys talking Must have been from the wild. Oh. Relics that are not born to any avatar or considered abandoned relic. Only abandoned relics can be picked up. Relic minions cannot be picked up when a minion dies. It automatically drops a relic. Relics can be buried or abandoned relics void or destroyed. Born relics forward. There's condition. For static effect. Okay. Doesn't say anything here. Interacting with relics. Okay. Here we go. An avatar or minion can pick up an abandoned relic at the same site as a free action. When picked up, a relic is placed on the avatar. Cannot be relic minions. A player may tap their avatar or minion to drop a relic. When a minion dies, it automatically drops. Dropped, a relic is placed untapped on the site occupied by the minion. Wow, yeah, that's so good. I did not expect that change. I did not expect that change. Okay, well, let's keep moving forward. This is a humans card. I'm just not a particular fan of this card. I really, really don't like this card. The Felix, it dies if it's dealt flanking or rear damage, and it can only attack forward. Not even going to put it in my humans pile because I'm just. Destroy all auras and relics on a site in a cardinal direction from your spellcaster. Super powerful. Very good card. You're probably going to need to run one or two of these all the time. Divine Healing. Unique magic to restore your health. Gain 7 health. So gain 1/3 of your health? That's pretty powerful. That is not bad at all. It's definitely going to buy you some time. Probably useful in a control style deck. Dwarven Digging Team. 2 for 3. Burrowing. When this team burrows, a nearby ally minion may burrow. Team unburrows, a nearby ally minion may unburrow. Oh, okay. So this is good for a couple other things. Like, on the face of it, we see, okay, well, when this burrows, it can bring along another minion. What really makes it strong is if they bury one of your minions, you could use this to unbury that, even if it didn't have burrow. This could end up being placed into decks just as a counter tech card. Yeah, interesting card. Earthquake. I like this card. We've seen it in the starter deck. I don't think anything's changed on here. Burrow all ground minions, unaffected sites without water. You may rearrange the placement of those sites. Yep, super strong card. Some irritation you can definitely hear. Why are all the counterspells in Earth except for the big counterspell, which is in Wind? I guess it's to make it so way you have to play Earth Wind if you want to use counterspells. And can we just get a basic counterspell instead of you know, can I just get a counterspell that costs 2 and just oh, be nice. Um, yeah, they're elite. So yep, it's a super strong card. Um, I will be making a control deck at some point. I just kind of wish I had more spells, or not more counter spells. I wish I had a condensed counter. But yeah, like right here, this can take care of your mixes pretty quickly. Phosphorus, the counter spell, yeah. Yeah, they were unique before. Enlarge, occupy 4 sites, gains 4 powers. We've seen before. List, cost 2. Search your spell deck for an ordinary or exceptional mortal. Reveal it and put it into your hand. Shuffle. Very good card. I don't think I need to explain how good tutors are in games. Or of ability. Same as the one we saw before. Exceptional counterspell. I wish they didn't have such high threshold cost on 3, 2. Counter an exceptional spell. Yeah, I mean, counter spell. Counter spells, counter spells. What counter spells? Frontier Settlers, nothing's changed on these. Still a good card. Gnomes. 2 for 2. Burrowing. These gnomes can unburrow any site in the span of Earth they are in. End of your turn, they may burrow. Card. Grey Wolves. Ordinary beasts. 2 for 2. These Grey Wolves get +1 power for each other Grey Wolf nearby. There is no limit to the number of Grey Wolves you can have in your deck. Ooh. Okay, so we got Pestilence Rats. Very interesting. Those are going to be expensive at first. Remember when Magic first came out and Pestilence Rats were so hard to get because everybody wanted 30 of them? Yeah, same thing's going to happen here. Bannerman, talked about it in the starter video. Card. Pikemen, 4 for 4. These pikemen deal combat damage before other minions they fight. First strike. I wish there were more first strikers, because this ability is yeah, exactly. They're still $2, and they've been reprinted in what, like 12 sets. But Pestilence Rats in Alpha, when Alpha first came out, they were worth more than like a pack. They were worth more than most rares. It was insane how hard they were to get. Just absolutely ridiculous. What's up, Rachel? So this is Sorcery TCG. It's on Kickstarter right now. Feel free to check it out. In fact, I will link Kickstarter, help Eric out a little bit. Oh. New card game that's coming out. People are super hyped for. A lot of the hype is coming because of the art. See, bam, right there. Yep, exactly. The art is extremely powerful and extremely beautiful. It's all hand painted art. Um, yeah, that's the first get. The other get is it feels like a good nostalgic kick. It feels like a good old school, um, old school 90s card game, which is great. Eric is the guy who is I believe the lead developer on. I do not know him personally. No, Eric, and I've seen a couple videos with him. He's the lead developer. I believe he also does something with Path of Exile. Phenomenal game too. So King of the Realm. King of the Realm is incredible. This is probably my pick for probably the most expensive card initially come out. I believe Philosopher's Stone will become the most expensive card, but I think in the first run or two, King of the Realm is going to be high. Very, very expensive card. I expect the first real powerful decks to come out will be Mortal. Land Surveyor, we've already talked about them. They are incredibly good. Master Tracker. This is a new one. Cost 2 for 3. Immune to Beast, Stealth. So, immune to Beast. Stealth. Now, question. Yes, King will be in the starter deck. You are not wrong. Will it still be an extremely expensive card? Probably. We'll have to see. But what you're not going to get in the starter deck is you're not going to get the foil version. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if the foil is what holds up. I wish they were doing cold foil instead of rainbow style foil. But yeah, we will see what's going to happen with the foil. I believe King is going to be an extremely sought after. All right, give me one moment. I need to take a 2-minute break here. I'll give you guys some music. Had to get my food order in. Sorry about that. Starting to wrap my head around. Correct. Full version will be cash money. You are right. Wait, counter spells can also counter summon minions. Yes, so minions are still spells. Anything that says spell book on the back is a spell, pretty much. I mean, that is not a hard rule, but it's a nice, easy, quick way to think of it. I think even relics are spells, yeah. So anything in the spell book is a spell. Okay. I have a question on this. So, immune to beast, stealth. So I'm assuming he is immune to beast. He's not immune to beast and stealth. So he's immune to beast. He has stealth, and nearby enemy stealth is negated. I would like them to move the stealth to the front. Make that a little easier on people. 2 for 3? Yeah. And can negate stealth and into beast. And he has stealth himself. Yeah, he's a good one. One of my favorite cards out of this. Definitely. We talked about this a little bit in length on the video. Definitely one of my favorite cards. Midland Mercenaries. This is a new one. 2 for 4. Ordinary Mortal of Dubious Nature. Coming into play, return your nearby empty village you control to its owner's hand. If you cannot return them, I'm assuming them means Midland Mercenaries to you. Yeah. I like this. It's cheap. It has high attack. It's cheap. Allows you, now it's going to mess with your mana a little bit. Your tempo's going to take a hit, but you will be able to replay that village, get another foot soldier out of it, and reposition, or maybe you want Maybe you want another location where that village is at, allows you to pick up that village, then place a different location. I I like this card. I think this is a solid card. Miracle Workers, 3-for-1 spellcaster. That's pretty average. Most spellcasters I've noticed tend to be 3-for-1 with another effect. If an allied minion dies near this healer's, both to their owners. Oh, now I would like clarification. Is this a forced or a main? Do I have to do this if one of my minions, if say one of my 1 health foot soldiers die, which is a token minion and doesn't go to my hand, but still an allied minion? If it dies, do I have to put these back in my hand? If this is a May, this card is very good. If this card is forced, this card is crap. I would not use this because of the fact that if a token minion dies, it's still an allied minion. Exactly. I think you return the healer and the token disappears. If that is their intent, and unfortunately with the wording on this game, a lot of this is having to deal with intent. If that is the intent, is that, yeah, I probably would not play this card. I don't think this card is good if it's not a May. Hey man, we're talking fantasy here, right? Like the healers are gonna save the king before they save the peasant. Yeah, but I don't I don't foresee you run like maybe, but she is going to be off theme because she's immortal, and most of those decks are going to be either trolls, void walkers, big nasty things, demon spirits. Um, I hope she's a May. I really do. I hope she's a May. We'll put it over there in case she is. The Druids, 2-for-1 spellcaster. Actually, this is already a good card right here. You're paying a discount for a spellcaster. Damage dealt to your avatar through a site near these druids is also dealt to the enemy avatar. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Hmm. I like this. I like this a lot. I really like this. So what this is essentially saying is that say I got a forward sight and they're just pinging the crap out of it, to get that damage on my avatar. If those guys are here, their avatar is taking that same amount of damage. So we're getting a 1-for-1. That is super strong. That's going to force them to come in and try to take the druids before pinging the site. That is very strong. Over there. Monster Hunter. 3-for-2. This hunter kills a nearby monster. Depends on how many monsters we're going to be seeing. Maybe one of. Ordinary counterspell. Here we go. That one only costs 1 threshold. See? Oh, got the whole set there. I'm positive they did it. I'm not. Look. Yep. Website. The elite is wind. The other ones are earth. But there's your counterspell trio. Can't wait. This, I can't wait. Yeah, Monster Hunter may be good. We'll need to see what the meta looks like. But yeah, like if you're playing kitchen table and your buddy's playing, the wolf deck, yeah, throw 3 of these in your deck. Thin them out a little bit. Oh yeah. Which are same as the one from starter deck. Very turn. Any of the two middle-sized draw spell. Okay, same as the original one. Hard to protect, but not bad. 10 towns. Near beast. Nearby enemy's stealth is negated. Scourge zombies. Undead. Oh, I like this. It's interesting. When it dies, burrow it and unburrow it if a mortal dies nearby. Yeah, the one power makes her so vulnerable. There's definitely ways to keep her safe. I believe water has dodge, which isn't the best option because it's going to move her off of one of the middle sites. There's a couple other ones. If you can bury her. So, what my plan to do? Let's verify we can do it. Talk out of my butt. um, Burrowing. A minion may be summoned, burrowed under it may tap. It may interact with. Okay, so it doesn't say that its keywords are turned off. So, bury your own queen. That's what I'm gonna do. Burrow a minion or relic on a site without water. If it does not have burrowing keyword, it still survives but can't unburrow. Still survives. Yeah. And I believe burrow works just like minion with splash damage does not. Yep, pretty much. I freaking Henry VIII her, right? I believe she would still be untargetable, or I don't know if she'd be untargetable. But yeah, I'm gonna bury her to protect her from attacks at least. And maybe counterspell back up her, keep her from getting punched down. But yep, I'm burying the queen. Shield Maidens, love the art. Absolutely love this art. Very Viking Motesque. I like it a lot. 4 for 2, so low power, high cost. What do? Exceptional. These minions and other nearby allied minions have iron skin. Is that worth 4 for 2? Because yes, in essence, it's a 4 for 2/4. That gives other nearby minions iron, which would make your queen have more health at least. Make your king a little better. Yeah, maybe useful. Okay, Templar, 3 for 3. Immune to demons, monsters, and spirits. It's okay. Sadly, it's just gonna get bolted or shocked. I love the like Japanese art style with the Western art style because those demons are very Oni-like, but that is obviously a very Western armor set. Although it does have some like or Chinese, Japanese look curves to it, but still very much a Western, a European armor set. Valkyries. Seen these before. Airborne, Iron Skin. These Valkyrie allies can't be targeted by enemy spells or abilities. Dun dun dun. I might bury those right next to the queen. Just bury them right next to the queen. Because this says enemy spells or abilities. That might be the only non-human I put in my human deck. Slumbering Giantess, cost 3 for 5. This Giantess is asleep until hurt. Untap her when she wakes up. An ally can attack her when she's sleeping, but your ally's gonna probably be killed. So you probably attack her with a foot soldier to wake her up. Yeah, I'm still thinking that a nice little combo. I mean, it's a 4-card combo. Let's be honest. Shenanigans. But theme of it is the theme of it is great. You're right. What a horrible king I'd make. But yeah, bury her with the Valkyries. Yep, there we go. I like it. I'm gonna have to do it. Giant. A fours, not Titan. We've talked about before. Tragedy Warrior Ward, 3 for 1. Elite Mortal. Magic damage near this Warrior Ward is that is so strong. That is so strong. Scary strong actually. Yeah, that's a very strong card. Damage near, so that's going to be in the 9 nearby. That is so strong, and it's not once per turn. It's just permanent. Oh, oh my goodness, that is such a strong card. That is such a strong card. Okay, True Allegiance. 2 under 2 or 4 sides, 1 Earth. Ally minions on affected locations gain +1 power, and they can't be controlled by your opponent or forced to take an action due to an enemy spell or an ability. Holy. Okay. One thing I've said about the king is he's extremely brutal in the mirror match. If you can kill their king and you can drop your king, the game's pretty much over, especially in the mirror match. If you do run a True Allegiance, conjure this towards your backline, put your avatar back there, they're going to have to go through those sites to get to your avatar, do the Death Door damage, which means as soon as they step on one of these sites, this effect is going to drop. And you'll be able to get your minions back. More importantly, it's so one-sided. They can't be controlled by your opponent, which means if you drop your king, take all their units, and you control the True Allegiance, and you send one of their minions through it, you're not losing control of it. Oh, that is so good. That is so very good. These knights, 3 for 3. These knights have +2 power as long as they are alone. As the alone and the furthest forward of your minions. There's some typos there, or just some incorrect grammar. I don't really like these. I don't think the +2 power is worth going out of position for. I think they might be pretty good on the attack, but I'm not a big fan. Okay. Now, originally I was going to go through all of these, but I don't think I'm going to have the time tonight. So we're going to go through water, because we have the remnants of a human deck going. I believe water has the most, or wind, I'm sorry, wind has the most amount of humans cards. Most of these are not humans. There's a couple humans, like some of the pirates and stuff. I know these have a couple humans with their spellcasters, but I think mainly, I think wind is really the one that has the. So we're gonna look at wind. Yeah, air is gonna. All right, immortal. and a good mortal at that. Our card cantrips are good. Yep, I like this one. Ball lightning. Seen it in the so I've not put out my wind starter deck review yet, but it's there. I just haven't released it yet. So I'm going to skip most of the starter deck wind cards, and they uh, you'll have to watch the wind review when I get it out. It is the next video coming out, so we are gonna go over or not go over so many of the starter deck. Yep. Have a good night. Okay. So starter deck card start not a starter deck. Lisa. Um okay, let's do teleport. Ordinary magic, not a fast or quick. Teleport an ally to any site. Cost one. Um yeah, I like this. This is a pretty good card. Now, would I play it in the humans deck? Probably not. Would I play it in a more control deck where I have to be much more careful with my minions because I'm not running as many? Hell yeah. Yeah, teleport is a good card. I wish it was fast or quick. I could teleport people out of harm's way. A good example is this one is ordinary flash of this one also not quick spell. Yeah, you can also another reason why I would like to see it be quick is if they attack with a minion, I can teleport it back. Yeah. Um, Mole definitely has it right. Nice finisher when at death's door. TP to their avatar. Um, so teleport an ally straight to their avatar and attack. Um, actually, now that I think about it like that, I may end up putting one. We'll see. Blizzard, conjure at the intersection of 2 or 4 sites, one of wind. Players cannot untap more than one minion on affected sites during. Oh, so good. I really like stasis effects. Anything that can slow down minions, slow down my opponent from wrecking me. Honestly, I'd put this on my sites so that way when they attack the site, it takes them longer to get that ping damage in. Such a good. Blood Ravens, 1 for 1. Ordinary Beast, Airborne. For every point of damage the Ravens deal. Yeah, they're good. I don't think they're exceptionally great, but they're good. I like them. Cloud Spirits. 2 for 2. Airborne movement +2. Um, they're from the starter deck. I've talked about them a little bit. They're decent. Also a starter deck card. 2 for 3. Stealth. Again, I don't know how well stealth is going to be, so disenchant. Destroy all auras and relics on a site in a cardinal direction from your spellcaster. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Oh, yeah. Well, let's take a look at. Got no stretch goal. don't see it. I'll take a look at it here in a little bit then. But yeah, special sorcerer card. Yeah, I think the sorcerer is a very strong avatar. And I think we can get the 3 million. We're pretty close. Have a good one, Lug. Disengage. So yeah, disengage, super good. Here we go. Search your spell book for a card, then shuffle and put it on top of. Like I said, control-oriented players will find ways to remove the randomness and always have consistency. May only have one Philosopher's Stone, but you will always have ways to search, opt, dig. Good control players will always make sure that their deck has a consistency that happens quite a bit. This card is just extremely strong too. Wish it wasn't unique. I wish it was, elite. But yeah. Resonance, conjure. This one does not require. Yeah, this will be in the Power 9 version of the game has. Yeah, this is going to be. Conjure at 2 or 4 locations does not require any of those locations to be of specific type. You may summon a spirit to the affected location for 1 less mana. During the presence, and the summoned spirit gains haste until. Interesting. Fade. Cost 1. Minion near spellcaster gains stealth. Draw a card. Again, not sure how good stealth is going to be, so we'll flanking maneuver. An ally moves like chess. Draw a spell. That means they're going to move in an. I like the Grand Wizard. Really think he should have 1 power. I think it's funny that his apprentice has 1 power and he doesn't. But super good. Draws 3 cards and creates a body for blocking. Grim Reaper is an extremely good card. We talked about this in the win video also. Very, very interesting card. Hippogriffs. Very good card. Actually, very strong. If you're going for an airborne theme, Hippogriffs are probably going to be one of your stronger characters. he's old and lost strength. But yeah, but power is not necessarily equal to raw strength. It's damage, and he's a spellcaster. But I guess he's drawn the 3 spells, so that's. I get it. Airborne, carry a weaker minion from anywhere in the realm to the eagle site. I actually like this a lot. 4 for 3. It has airborne, and it can get units out of a pickle. I like it. One for 2. Okay. I like 1 for 2s. When the glider moves from a wind site, it has airborne and +2 movement until. The 1 for 2 with upside? Yeah, I like that too. I think it'll be good in a airborne deck. Saw this in Recon. I actually like these. 6 for 4 with haste. Add. Princess. A unique mortal with beauty to die for. When this princess is dealt damage, nearby allied minions may have the damage dealt to them instead. I wish there was a way to make the princess always take the damage instead of the queen. Maybe I'll bury her with the queen. Joking. But yeah, she's actually pretty decent because she is 1-for-1. Quite like her. Second. There we go. Hounds, elite demons. A lot of keywords. Negate. Incident recall. Cost 3, or cost 0 with 3 threshold. Quick. Okay, quick. It's a quick magic spell. Teleport any number of allied minions in harm's way to sites near your spellcaster. Cancel attack spells or build. Bam! This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is a good. This is phenomenal. I like this card. This probably should have been in. Actually, that is so good. Kite Archer's range +2 at the end of your turn. This archer may move to an adjacent site. I like that. Does cost 2 for 1, but I still don't think he's wrong. Or disguise, he's new. 6, 5, airborne. Nearby enemies lose air. Strong. That's really strong. Being able to make it so he can't be attacked. That's really strong. Or at least not attacked by airborne, because they would lose it. That's really strong. I like that. Lord of the Void. 8 for 0. Void Walk. End of your turn, this void destroys a nearby aura, relic, or other minion. If it can't destroy any of these 3, it destroys a nearby site. If it didn't destroy anything, you lose the game. Holy smokes. Is there a way that I can give this to my opponent? is there a gauntlets of chaos that will allow me to pass this over to my opponent and then maybe immobilize him? So that way, ooh, he's so dangerous. If he gets immobilized, ooh, so dangerous. But if you can find a way to make your opponent gain control of him and then screw with him, got an I win card here. This could be useful. Min of Lang, 2 for 2. Beast. Whenever the min deal damage directly to an avatar, that avatar's control discards a card at random. Yeah, no, you are right. His power does suck. He probably should have had like 6 power or 5 power. I don't know why he has 0. That seems rough. He or at least he should have hexproof, or he can't be. Actually, Shroud would have been perfect for him. He can't be targeted by anybody's spells or abilities, so that way wouldn't be able to give them to my opponent and then mobilize them. Yeah, but I'll probably play around with him once we. But the Min of Lang, so I really like this card. One big reason, it's at random. Any kind of discard that is at random is good discard. Discard that is not at random is crappy discard. Alright, Immortal with Stealth and Lethal. Nightmare we've seen before. Ritual 1. Gain 7 mana. Yep. Hello, Dark Ritual. Better. That's super good. That is super good. That's Burrowing and Airborne. Woodhawk we've seen. Tesmo Shade. Yeah, Occult Rituals are broken. Yep. it's Power 9. There we go. Let's take a look at what we... Five, 6, 7. Yeah, so we got 7 cards in our power stack. Yeah, Ritual's busted good. Phantom Steed. We didn't look here. Shade may be summoned to any site. The shade dies when targeted by an attack or an ability. Alright, 2 for 5. Ooh, 2 for 5. That's so good. And it can be summoned to any site. This is actually a very good card. Yeah. It dies if it's targeted, but I don't care. That's a good card. May carry an allied minion moves. The minion carried. It has Phase Assassin. 3 for 3. It is immortal. Lethal. Voidwalk. This when attacking from the void. That is so good. That is so good too. That is very good. Or Second Blast. Deal 3 damage to enemies around your spellcaster. Push enemies damaged by this blast 1 step away. That is wrong. Enemies. Better. Rain of Arrows. Deal 1 damage to all minions in the realm to save arrows until you turn. I don't like that because of stuff too. Yeah, that assassin is super nice. Recurrent Spectre, 1 for 1. Voidwalk, the Spectre can't block. If the Spectre's killed, return it to your hand. Really like that card too. Seen that one before. Okay, 1 for 1 Spellcaster. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm going to be very close to considering this a power card. It's 1 for 1 Spellcaster. Like, if it had nothing else, it was just 1 for 1 and Spellcaster. This card is strong. It also has a come into play effect. Look at the top 3 cards of your spellbook. Put one of them on top and the rest in the bottom in any order. This is an insane card. I can't believe this is an exceptional card. This is probably going to be one of the most expensive uncommons. And honestly, I'm going to put it in my power set. Airborne, range 1. Pixies are immune to greater. Oh. Right before. Spell block. 0. Quick. Counter a spell target near your spellcaster. I like that it doesn't say an elite or ordinary or exceptional. Counter a spell targeted near your spellcaster. So I'm assuming what it's saying is if they're using a spell and it's targeting something near your spellcaster, you can counter. I like that card a lot. Summon Spear, conjure at the intersection of 2 or 4. You may summon minions. Selected location for 1 mana. Actually, that is really, yeah. The wording's weird, but I think we because it's called spell block. I think we can into the intention that the developers were wanting. But yeah, you are right. The wording is weird. Thunderbolt, 1 cards in the game. Twister. Throw a minion anywhere in the realm to a random site. Deal damage to that minion and other avatar and minions on that site. It lands equal to the distance of. Holy shit. I mean, shoot. That could be fun. It could be an interesting card. Ultimate Horror 9. Holy crap, this guy's huge. Look at that art. My gosh. You just keep impressing me with every art. This looks like something out of 40K, like, one of the demons of chaos. Voidwalk, Genesis. Put your dead minions with Voidwalk into. Oh, that is busted strong. That is so busted strong. This card alone makes me want to think about making a Voidwalk deck. That is so good. That is on point for Voidwalk. I like that. 1 for 0, spend a mana, +1 power until end of turn, Voidwalk, so Frozen Shade. Okay, I can get behind that. I like Frozen Shade. Good card. The Portal, I'm not a fan of the Portal. I think it cost. Whirling Blades. Ally moves up to 2 steps in a cardinal direction. Damage equal to its power to all enemies. Okay. What am I looking at? Might have time. You know what? I'm not going to make the deck on stream. I might actually just video for the deck. I think time to go through the other two. Unless my food shows up. Let's go through fire. Try to go more quickly through. Ancient Dragon is broken good. Occupies 2 sites. I hate. Backstab 3. Ally moves to a site with a single enemy minion and attacks it. If the attacked minion dies, it does not deal combat damage. Super powerful. That's very good. That's very good. Bane Spider. Other than the art on this being absolutely terrifying and the stuff made of nightmare. Yeah. 4 for 1. Genesis Spider kills another minion here. Okay. You know what? I think that's good. Beast of Burden, 3 for 3. They carry any number of out. I don't know how. Lethal is always. An avatar or ground minion gains +3 movement and deals 3 splash damage. Sight. In its wake. Turn. In its wake, I'm assuming would mean sight that it moves away from. This is good. Haste, Iron Skin, movement +1. Those have always been. Cerberus and Chains, 4 for 5. Cerberus is chained to the site where it is summoned and cannot move further than adjacent sites. Unleash it if the site moves or leaves the realm. So you place this on your River of Flame and then move your River of Flame. Bam. There you go. You have unleashed the Cerberus. Yeah. One for 1, ordinary. Yeah, see, here we go. Basic, spellcaster, 1 for 1, spellcaster, ordinary. Honestly, a good card. This is probably going to see a lot of play in fire decks. Just means this card is so much better. Harpies are a pain in the butt, and I'm seen before. Cone of Flame. I love the little grids on these. Super nice. Deal splash damage in a pattern in direction from. Yeah, the Harpies. I've lost games because of these stupid Harpies. They're very good. Cone of Flame's decent. Critical Strike. Ally. Oh, oops. An ally deals twice its power in combat damage until end of turn. Does that work with backstab? Ally moves to the site with a single. So if I target an ally with critical strike and then target it with backstab, going to do double damage and most likely kill the minion and not take damage back. I like that. And because it's attacking through backstab, I don't think it taps. So therefore, I can still swing with it too. That's a nice little combo. The Cyclopean Mummies. It's actually the name of a magic card. Ordinary undead emerge from below, burrowing. These mummies may be summoned to any site without water and must enter the realm. You know, there might be a good Fire Earth Burrow deck. Disintegrate. Also a magic. Cost 3. Magic. Destroy relics born by an avatar minion in a cardinal direction from the spellcaster. Deal 3 damage per relic destroyed this way to the bearer. Remove any minion or relics destroyed this way entirely. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Day Prophet. Cost 4 for 1. Spellcaster. Magic damage near the Prophet is double. Very useful. Cyclops. 5 for 3. Cyclops does not deal damage when attacked or blocking, but it deals twice its power attacking. Fireball, staple card. Bolts, card. Fire Salamander. It is a fire spell. 2. Heat Wave. Heat Wave flows from any one side of the realm to the opposite side, dealing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 splash damage. Okay, so it's going to do 5 damage to this row. 3 or 4, 3, 2. Can I choose it to do the? Can I choose it to go the other way? Can I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 this way, or does it have to go this way? Interesting, because it does say from one side of the realm to the opposite side, so it doesn't say from in the pattern. So that's interesting. Flash Fire. Conjure near your spellcaster. The Flash Fire deals 4 splash damage whenever it reverses at the start of your turn. It moves to an adjacent, previously unburnt site. If it cannot move, discard it. Okay, either side? Yeah, then that's great. I like that card. Heat Wave. Deal 2 splash damage in a line to in any cardinal direction. So, yep. Minions on the site directly in front of this basilisk are card. Immobilate. 7 damage to an avatar minion, and card is sick. Thank God it's unique. That's a lot of damage straight up to an avatar, and I believe this would count as direct damage because you're dealing it directly. I believe it would. That's a sick card. Incinerate also. Deal 5 splash damage on a site near your spellcaster or good. Legion is very good. Let's see if it's a little bit fire immunity. Sites. Ooh, here we go. Interesting art. 6 for 4. Heat Beast. Lethal when fighting from behind. Iron Skin. Lethal when it's fighting from behind. So if it, oh, this is gonna cause a lot. Iron Skin when fighting sideways, +2 power when fighting. If the Chimera and the enemy start combat on the same side, all of the above. Oh, that's really. So if you tap and then choose to attack, depending on what direction you move, you will get that ability. I'm assuming it's done. I dash. See, for 1, I get haste and movement. Not bad. I know it's only once, but let's be honest, the skull is probably only Major explosion looks to be. Spellcaster takes no damage. Maze Minotaur. 3. Iron Skin. Nearby enemy minions can move only to sites near the Minotaur. Good. Explosion still pretty good. They haven't changed. They're Outback Strider. 3 for 4. Strider must be summoned to any site in the left or rightmost column. Not bad. Pact with the Devil. Sacrifice the spellcaster to draw 3 cards. If you cannot sacrifice the spellcaster, half your life total rounded up to draw 3 cards. That's really. Oh damn, that's a really good card. That is a very good card. Oh, this is Poison Nova. Wonder why Poison Nova. 4. Lethal. Deal 1 damage to minions around the spellcaster. Excuse me? Wow. Wow. That's extreme. Cobalt sweeps. 4 at the Minion North. Yeah, the Nova's sick. I'm impressed with that Nova. Burrowing, lethal, still pose, fire movement, throw. I can answer. And warm is storm. Conjure at the intersection of sites with fire. Players can't tap more than 1 minion on affected sites. So same as Blizzard. Spin attack. Ally deals damage equal to its power to enemy. I realize that combined with the dragon. 1. Scout, another mortal. 2. Movement +2. Players whose avatar is near the scout must play with their hand. Good card. Ordinary fire starter of a nearby target. I mean, yeah. It's a Viashino Sandstalker in a lot. Pilgrim's decent. 1 spellcaster. Chance to draw cards. Wisp, not bad at thinking sights from the void. But we got some pretty good stuff in fire. Still think fire and water are the weaker of the groups. But yeah. Right, yeah, you're right. Very nice demon. Okay, Abundance. I like this card. 4. Conjure at an intersection of 2 or 4 sites. Doesn't require them to be water. Affected sites produce twice as much mana and elemental threshold. Very strong card. Albatross, 4 for 1, airborne. When a minion kills this albatross, all of that minion's nearby ally minion. That is a weird way of saying it, but water she's in, same thing. Body swap. Swap the location of 2 avatars or 2. That doesn't say avatars and or minions. Bridge Troll. 1 for 4. This troll doesn't want to. It can still be forcefully moved or teleported. But good wolf. It's a wolf. Frog is broken, as it always is. 4. Court Jester. 3 for 1. Spellcaster. At the start of each player's turn, this Jester is near that player's avatar. That's pretty strong. It's obviously squishy, but that is a pretty strong ability. Seen the mermaids, we've seen the Kraken before. Card dot. Super card. Muse, 1-for-1 spellcaster. Okay, so we got another 1-cost 1 spellcaster. Super strong. Bay Changeling. Art on this is brutally good. Wow. 2-for-1. This Changeling must be summoned on any site with at least a minion. Turn another minion here. This is a very good card. This is a very good card in a lot of different ways. I can't believe this is common. This is extremely powerful. So, first off, it bounces. You can play it on a site where you don't have presence. You can play it and bounce one of your minions. So you have a minion with a really good coming into play effect, and you want that effect again. Pay 2, get a 1 creature to replace it, return that one to your hand. Say they wasted their turn, maybe they had to do a bunch of jumping through hoops to play. I mean, there's a time walk in a lot of ways. You get a time walk if you can bounce, something that they spent their entire turn playing, and you just bounce it. Yeah, granted, they're still drawing a card, they're still getting to attack, that sort of stuff. But in essence, it's a mini time walk. This is probably one of the strongest water cards I've seen. Flood. Yep, we've seen it before. This is super, super powerful. Unless they're playing Bedrock, then you're screwed. Yeah, I'm surprised this is ordinary too. I would have expected this to be elite. Elite at the most. Exceptional probably would have been acceptable. Flood is super strong. Water decks will be taking advantage because it hoses thresholds. Flow of life. You gain life equal to the number of water sites in the realm. If you are at death's door, instead set your life to 1. Ooh, that's really that. I think this is the first card we've seen that where we can get outside of death's door. Okay. Now, one thing that I had suggest, and I still highly suggest it, and I know it may be too late. Maybe just too late. But if anybody out there has the ear of any of the developers, what I would love to see implemented is I would love to see the avatars on the reverse side be black and white version. Reason for that is because when I go to Death's Door, I want to flip over the avatar and have it be black and white. So I know I'm at Death's Door. I get it. Just put a marker on it. I hate that. I hate it so much. I hate putting markers. I would love to just be able to flip it over. We don't need these backs anyways. These backs are different than spellbook backs. They're never going to go into the spellbook. They're never going to go into the atlas. You're never going to put an avatar into your hand in general. So let me be able to flip my avatar over and have a grade scale or a black and white version of them. Keep all the text on them. And or this one's definitely probably way too late, but even a damaged art version, so maybe in this version the butterflies are dying, maybe the birds have arrows through them and there's blood dripping out of her eyes, show that she's on death's door, like a damaged version, like those old He-Man toys where they had the spindle on their front, and when you hit them with the sword, it did like damage on the little action figures. I want that in a card form. Give me that in a card form. But I would take a black and white version. That way I could just flip it over and know that I'm at Death's Door. It's easy to tell. I can still see. I got all the text on the card, and I don't have this big ass marker or token or something on. So, if anybody out there has the ear of a developer, please bring that up. It's free. I'm not gonna I'm not claiming my idea, anything. It's just I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see that. I think Flow of Life is actually really good because it can pull you out of Death Storm. Frost Nova, I love Frost Nova. Frost Nova. Ghost Ship, 5 for 3, Void Walk. The ship moves freely in a body of water and void. Oh, okay. It may carry any number of allied minions when it moves. Those minions have Void Walk when carried. Okay. I don't generally like these movement ones so much, but this one seems pretty strong. Hurricane. Merge all minions on. Yes! Okay. So, another Wrath of God style card. You off to the side. This card's sick. Can't believe you can play 4 of them. That is actually scary that you can play 4 of these. That is so good. That is so strong. Yep. Be very careful when walking into water sites. That is for sure. Ice Lance. Honestly, I think Heat Wave's better. Granted, Heat Wave is 1 less damage initially, but it's 2, so it's 8 damage, where this is 6 damage. And I think Heat Wave's even. Lord of Underland. 3 for 3. Submerge all allied water minions in this body of water game. Oh, Lord of Atlantis. I like that. Yeah, exactly. There's another one that was in the starter deck that is better. It costs 7, but honestly, I think this is better for. It doesn't do as much, but it costs less, and the fact that you can have 4 of these in the deck. But this is more defensive, where the other one was more aggressive. I'm sure we'll see the other. But yeah, this is Lord of Atlantis. I like it. Super card. I hate you. I hate this amoeba. It's so confusing. Use markers to keep track of it. Yep, it's pain in the butt. Mesmerize. 7 threshold, an elite aura of ultimate control. Conjure at the intersection of 2 or 4 sites that include one that your spellcaster is on. You control minions on affected sites as long as your spellcaster stays on them. Do we have a spellcaster that can submerge? But if I give him the Philosopher's Stone, I can submerge him, then mesmerize his area, and yeah, there we go. Nice little control. Good. Mother Nature, still not a fan of you. It's that once per turn that makes this rough for me. Cost a lot, but I get it. Like, by the end of the game, you want to be able to draw some cards. The problem is, by the time you get her out, you probably have no cards in your hand. So now you're just trying to top deck a minions, that way you can get a draw spell. She can't move, she doesn't have submerged, she's too vulnerable. Just not. Okay. 2 for 2, Berlin submerged. Oh, interesting. Berlin and submerged. Be interesting. Near miss. Elite quick magic. Deflect a ranged attack, a spell, or an ability targeting ally near your spellcaster to a new target, the ally. Yeah, a bit too expensive. Like, I'm okay with the 7 mana because of abundance and a couple other ramp spells, but the immobile kind of sucks. If she didn't have immobile, I'm okay with the once per turn. But since she has immobile, I would like the once per turn to be. I just think she's got too many restrictions. I think near miss is incredibly powerful. That is a very good card. 3 for 5, waterbound. Leg of Frogs. Summon 7/0 power frog tokens with submerge. Any combination of sight. Okay. Yeah. think the Lord is actually pretty decent because he can actually bring the frogs back up to the appropriate amount of damage. Polar bears are awesome. Polar explorers cost 2 mortals. These explorers can move between sites from the top and bottom edge of the realm. If they were adjacent, allies can move with them if they do. Just a smaller polar bear, but also human instead of a porcupine pufferfish. That's terrifying. My gosh. Waterbound, submerged, lethal. Yeah, no, you're right. I agree. 1 power, still 3 threshold. Um, 1 power for 7 tokens, even at 0. Maybe that's why the frog tokens got changed to 0 because they couldn't be. They'd have to make 2 different frog tokens. Because I don't think Genesis is a strong enough card to make the frog token 0 from 1. But that card is. Okay. Conjure near your spellcaster. This enters the realm as a copy of a nearby. Question. Can you copy a unique relic? I copy the stone. If I can. Hello, buddy. Riptide, pull an avatar minion to a body of water adjacent. Key Raider, 3 for 3. Whenever this raider attacks, you may pillage your opponent's top spellbook card. Set it aside until the end of turn and treat it as if it were in. Put it in your owner's discard pile at the Yeah, exactly. Is unique like legendary. I don't know. If it's not, that's really good. Minion in a cardinal direction. Caster occupies one location and power is reduced to 0 until sleep. Minion anywhere falls asleep until hurt. Untap. Untap it when it. Yep. Like sleep. Big thief. Thief can be summoned to any site. Whenever it traverses the site, it can pick up a born relic there. Out exiting stealth. That's really good. And it, well, now they don't tap to pick up anyways. But I wish it had movement +1. So Buffalo, Maidens we've seen. Ooh. Character 4 for 3. Tap this. There's an adjacent minion. That minion remains ensnared as long as tapped. You may choose to not untap it. Okay. I like that. Turf Turtles. 2 Iron Skin. Unland Eel. 2 for 2. Submerged Waterbound. When surfaces to attack against +3 power and don't. Unravel Stick. Destroy relics and undead minions on a site in a cardinal direction from your spellcast. There it is. Wrath of the Sea. So this is the other one. 7. 2 Threshold. Sites near water become water sites. Turn, submerge all minions and relics on water sites. So, where this one suggests is submerge all minions on water sites, this will actually convert water sites that are close to your water sites into water. But this one is much more aggressive than this one. This one's much more defensive. But honestly, a control deck cares more about the defense than anything else. But still good. You can only run 2 of these. You can run 4 of these. I'd run them both. Kappas, Iron Skin, we've seen these guys. They also water. Like, I really thought about doing wind water, just for these Wrath of Gods, but because Earth had all the counter spells, move the counter spells out of more. So the next question is, I mean, we probably still go spell deck builder. Constructed. Each spell book must contain at least 40 cards, and their atlas must contain 20 sites. Players can include more cards as long as their decks are small enough to be shuffled with two hands. Each player may include 4 copies of Ordinary. Those in avatars do not count towards spellbook or atlas count. So 60 card decks and 30 or 40 20. Okay, let's build something real quick. I got some time. I got a couple months. Yeah, dude, waiting until September is gonna suck. But hey, we got a lot more cards on TTS. We can play a lot more games on TTS. You check out my Discord down in the description on my Twitch channel. I have my Discord linked. Play a lot of games there, here and there. It's still pretty small. I also, if you go to the Discord for Sorcery TCG, they have a looking for games there, and you should be able to find some people to play on Tabletop Simulator there too. Great group of people there. Highly suggest it. Well, yes, I'm. There's the start of my deck. Question is, do I want 2 of, you know what? I want. Yeah, the Discord for this game is highly active. I don't know if I want 3 of these, but I do. Already up to 9. That's it. Okay. Going to avoid the counter spells for now. Want some kill cards. Let's organize. Okay. A little insight into how I build that. So, kill, scroll, kill, kill, kill. Good minion. Scroll. Card draw. Give me one moment. My food just got here. I'll be right back. Okay, let's finish this deck well. Okay. Control, kill, card draw. Minion, control, minion. There. Card draw. Minion. Draw. Minion. Okay. Real quick. We don't have a lot of room. Most destroy all auras on a site in a cardinal direction. We have two. We have dispel, and then we have disenchant. Well, they're exactly the same auras. Okay. I'm gonna go with the spell. Gonna run one teleport. One of the counter. I don't think the spell block is really good. So is the instant recall. I like to run one of each. Problem is getting a little fat. Lightning is great, but I don't know if it's good for the. Have a good one, Mo. And yeah, no, I mean, glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad we were able to get through all the cards, and hopefully, I'll be doing some more build tech videos. I'm just throwing this one together. This has a little extra, like the stealth and lethal. Minion, so they're pretty thick already. Doing this one. I think I would like. I like these archers, but I like the other ones. Really like this. See? Don't. Peek. Gonna have to cut some stuff. Cards. There are more cards than that now. Go down to 147. I'd like to get rid of a couple more. I'm going to drop one in list. I'm going to drop the Thunderbolts. Just use the Psychic Blow. I keep the spell. Oh, can I get rid of 2 more cards? That's the question. I feel like large minions are going to... That is what I feel. Yeah, this deck doesn't feel super strong. But, you know, this is just a preliminary. 6. Huh. I think that's not bad for just something thrown together. We'll definitely take a better look at deck building in YouTube videos. Um, but I wanted to go over and take a look at all these new cards. Really just walk through. I'm going to go ahead and jump out and enjoy the rest of my night before I got to go work. Thank you guys for hanging out and watching and enjoying the stream. Have a good night.